Hi everyone, and welcome to the first video. For these videos we're going to dive right in and show you how to perform the tasks. They're all in chronological order, so if you just follow exactly the steps that we perform, you'll be able to perform the tasks in a similar fashion. We need to start off by utilizing the first tool. If you look at the list of videos, the first tool is Google. We're going to use some of their tools. And for Google, we of course need Google accounts. I've created a few here. I've got an instructor, which can be a teacher or an instructor if it's not a school, and then 2 students created already. We want to create a new account that doesn't exist yet, and the first one we're going to create is a teacher. So let's go to google.com. And if we simply browse to google.com, we'll get the following different links over here. We can go to Gmail, images, and various different apps. Right now, we just need to press the sign in to create a new account. After we pressed on sign in, there's a new button called create account. And yes, it's for myself. So let's choose a name. I'm going to call this Tiny2 Instructor and Tiny Instructor 779. Let's 779. Let's make it that. We can choose a default password for it. Try to make it strong so no one hacks your password initially. These accounts, by the time the videos go out, won't be active anymore, so it doesn't really matter for me. And we press next. You don't need to provide a phone number. An email address for recovery is optional, so I would recommend, if you forget your password, make your own account that you already have as your recovery email address if you forget your password. And we need to give a date when this person was born. This is for various different safety and security reasons. So I'm just going to choose the first day of January. As it's an instructor, let's say he was born in the 80s. And this is a female. There we go. Let's make this a male. I'm a male. And say next. On the screen, we don't need to go into more details, but I'll urge you to please read through the privacy and policies and terms. And on the more options, there are various different ways that you can customize ads, etc. I prefer the defaults. They were good for me, and it really aids me in getting better placed ads, etc. So I'm just going to say I agree. So I've created my very first account. Now, what do we need to do with this account? There's a whole bunch of things that we need to know about. The first thing that we can do is let's click on the account and change our picture. So I'm going to select this little picture button, say select a photo from my computer, go to pictures, and there's the picture for my instructor. You can upload and take your own pictures. So pictures is a good way if you're going to communicate online with students to at least take a picture of yourself so that they would know who you are. Obviously, you won't look like a dragon, but if you did, you can place it there. So there I've created my picture over there. Then I can go to Gmail. So if I click on Gmail over there, it'll take me to Gmail. And once you enter Gmail, a couple of things would happen. You'll need to set certain settings. We're not going to set all of them, but you can go through the tutorial videos. I'll show you how to get it now. So it says email by Google. We can just press next. Over here, it gives you different types of views. If you haven't used Google yet, it would not make a lot of sense. I like the default view because it immediately shows you document attachments if someone sent you an email like a work assignment, etc. So the default works very well for me. I would press OK. I personally don't like these little buttons, the primary, social, promotion. I want to see all the emails as one inbox. So to change this, we can go to the settings tab over here. And on the settings tab, we're going to say configure inbox, and I'm going to unselect social, unselect promotions, and press save. Now I've got one inbox for all my emails. The start of Gmail gives me a couple of buttons, and I'll tell you to go through all of them. It will definitely help you. It is mobile as well, so you can use it on your mobile phone. There's a choose theme button. The default theme works well, but if you want to change a theme, there's pictured themes and various other themes as well that you can choose. This is the default one that we currently have, and you can select any theme you want to. If you want to learn more about how to use Gmail, you can click this button as well. So we've got our very first account. At a later stage, I'll show you how we can create various different accounts. But for this one, I'm going to say, let's close it over here. Open Chrome, and in your Chrome, it will open and say, and ask you to sign in. So for me, because I've got various different people, let me just show you what I've done. On my Chrome, you can right click and enter properties on your Chrome shortcut. I've just added to the end there, minus profile minus directory equals guest profile. And what this does is every time I open it, I can browse as a guest, or I can select any of my various different aliases for the demo purposes of this course. So I'm going to say add a person. I'm going to call this Tiny Instructor 2. There was a little button that said add a shortcut here. I could have deselected it, but I forgot, so I'm just going to right click and say delete. And I'm going to say sign in for this user. This would be the default on your browser to sign in first when you open it. At the top over here, you'll have a little place where you can also say sign in or add different users. And as an instructor or student, you just need one account, so you don't have to go through all of this. So I'm going to say I'm tinyinstructor779@gmail.com. Press next, enter my password that I've selected, the very nice short password. I would recommend that you enter a recovery phone number and a recovery email. I'm not going to create one for these purposes, but it's definitely a good thing. And I'm going to say, yes, please synchronize my browser. The reason we want to synchronize it, if we add bookmarks, if we add shortcuts, it will always be there. So it's extremely, extremely helpful. This little button here is just an extension that's been added. So I'm going to click on it and say enable extension. It's a very good extension for Adobe, but you probably won't have that. So now you've created an email address. Now you can technically start. So we can then use certain apps that we're definitely going to get into. Google Drive, we'll go and look at it just now. Google Calendar, and then of course Google Classroom, which are going to be the main tools that we would use for the Google app. Of course, not forgetting Google Docs and Sheets and Slides and various different other apps that we would use with these apps as well. So let me give you a short tip as an instructor. We would open Gmail on our very first tab, because this would be a tool that we would utilize quite often. I will then open a new tab, select this button. It looks like a 9 little dots, and I can then select Drive to open Google Drive. Click this button again, select this tab again, and I would scroll down to Google Classroom. We're not going to do anything in Google Classroom yet. And I think these are the 3 tabs that we need for now. So I'm going to select these 3 little dots at the top right corner, select Settings, and then from here, if I scroll down a little bit, it tells me on the startup, open a specific set of pages. I click that button and I say use current pages. Now, these 3 pages are now my default pages every time I open up my browser. Let me quickly illustrate. And if I want to change it, I can go back there anytime and just simply change it. So Gmail opens, Google Drive opens, and Classroom opens as well. So we are ready as an instructor to start using the default tools.